What a disaster this has been trying to get this to start. Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. Man. There's been tomfoolery afoot. I think it's all working now. Well, my mute button isn't working. Let's see. Some stuff is still working. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Oh, how about now? All right, there we go. Okay. Had to restart the stream once, and now I'm having just issues in general with the sound, and man, it's a tough life, guys. You know, it's a tough life being a cartoon on the internet. Let me tell you. All right, Tomfoolery Tuesday. Okay, now we're finally in the swing of it, sort of. The Swamp Year 3 merch finally out. Check out the link in the description. Year 3, keep your collection going of fine Swamp merchandise. I definitely need to update that. I did, I added the Didn't Do Nothing stickers back as well. Let's see. Yeah. The boys didn't do nothing. Legendary sticker pack. Man, what a what a bumbling, stumbling start to a Tomfoolery Tuesday. But first things first, as promised in the title of this stream, the U.S. Surgeon General declares gun violence a public health crisis. And I have not listened to this amazing declaration yet, but I can tell you, I've already got a lot of questions. A lot of things that I'm wondering. First of all, the very first thing being, why is this the U.S. Surgeon General? Just right off the bat. I am a little bit confused about what's going on here. I mean, that's it, really. There's just a lot of questions already right off the bat. But here, let's see what he has to say.
I'm U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. Today, for the first time in the history of our office, I am issuing a Surgeon General's advisory on firearm violence. It outlines the urgent threat firearm violence poses to the health and well-being of our country. As a doctor, I've seen the consequences of firearm violence up close in the lives of the patients I've cared for over the years. These are moms and dads, sons and daughters, all of whom were robbed of their physical and mental health by senseless acts of violence. Unfortunately, the problem has continued to grow. 54% of adults in America report that they or a family member have experienced a firearm-related incident, whether they've been personally threatened with or injured by a firearm, lost a family member, witnessed a shooting, or shot a...
I do want to say, first thing, when I was looking at this guy before he started talking, I was hoping for a much funnier accent. He doesn't really have an accent, and that's, I mean, if this is the guy right here, he's the guy, you got to give me a better accent, brother, because this is not doing it for me. This is quite boring. And do I have to be the one to point this out here? because apparently this guy's too stupid to realize this. So this is the U.S. Surgeon General. He's supposed to be talking about, health. This is a public health crisis. I'm sorry. No matter how many ways you try to twist this thing around into a pretzel, gun violence does not fall under the purview of health. It just doesn't. Of course, guns cause physical violence, but it is not. Gun violence doesn't fall under the category of the flu or something. I mean, it's stuff like this that actually kind of makes me, in some ways, wary of making jokes all the time about how stupid these people are, because this used to be a joke that I made and other people have made that they're eventually they're gonna try to declare gun violence a public health crisis so that they can do X, Y, and Z, because that's how stupid they are. They would do that, and sometimes I think maybe they're listening more than we realize to the ridiculous right wing cartoons on the internet, and they go, "That's a great idea. We should do that." All right, let's see. Keep making the case, brother.
Firearm related incident, whether they've been personally threatened with or injured by a firearm, lost a family member, witnessed a shooting, or shot a firearm in self defense. Many of these harms are.
What is he saying this is? They've experienced a firearm related incident. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm not sure how having been personally threatened with or injured by a firearm, what it has to do with public health, but what a clown
Many of
show.
these harms are disproportionately felt in our communities. Black individuals.
Wait, how did we get to black people are the most important thing?
A firearm
I missed
related
that.
incident, whether they've been personally threatened with or injured by a firearm, lost a family member, witnessed a shooting, or shot a firearm in self defense. Many of these harms are disproportionately felt in our communities. Black individuals endure the highest rates of firearm homicides, while suicide rates.
Wait a minute. How is the U.S. Surgeon General allowed to say that black people kill each other at higher rates? And I'm not allowed to say it, though. If I say it, I'm just an internet racist. Gun violence is disproportionately felt in black communities. You don't say.
Rates are highest among veterans, older white individuals, and younger American Indian and Alaska Native people.
How is any of this relevant information? He really wants to talk about, the black and brown people, but he has to bring up older white people and what was some weird thing about Native something or others, some other group. But why on earth? Unless we're talking about something that specifically affects the health of black people, sickle cell and it's something that is race related. What on earth does the race of all these individuals have to do with the scourge of the gun violence health epidemic? Nobody knows.
What is especially devastating is how this has affected our children. Firearm violence has become the #1 cause of death among children and adolescents, more than car accidents or drug overdose.
They're still going with this, huh? They're still going with this. The #1 cause of death amongst children is guns. How many times has this one been debunked? I mean, it's just outright a lie. I mean, even if you had not watched any videos of anyone debunking this, just on its face, the statement should give you pause. You should have enough brain cells to go, I'm sorry, can you come again? What was it? You're claiming that the #1 killer of children in the United States is guns? Only a absolutely raging lunatic would ever believe that, otherwise known as a liberal. Like, look at it. I mean, firearms are the leading cause of death for children and adolescents. Firearms number one. Motor vehicle poisoning, cancer, suffocation, congenital anomalies, drowning, cardiovascular disease. You have to be living on planet retard in the galaxy of dumbassery to believe this at all, right on its face. I mean, what in the? It's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. So one of the things that's a sleight of hand about this is they say for children and adolescents. That's the first giveaway that you're not dealing with some honest information here. Adolescents. So the only way you can fudge these numbers to make them work is if you include things like he was talking about, which was just the insanely high violent gun crime rate in the black community. But they want you to think that it's like school shootings, or something like that. When really what they're talking about here, what this data is actually showing is just the massive number of inner city black kids that are killing each other is really what this is showing. I don't think that's what he meant for it to show, but that is what it's showing.
I've sat with parents who've lost a child to firearm violence. I've listened to their stories and felt their pain as they describe the holes in their hearts. As a father, I know a parent's worst nightmare.
Wait a minute. Did this guy just bust out a pun in the middle of this while talking about parents who've lost kids to gun violence? Did he really just do that? Did he do something that I would do as a cartoon on the internet, but he's supposed to be the Surgeon General?
Violence. I've listened to their stories and felt their pain as they describe the holes in their hearts.
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Have a little class. What an absolute D-bag, as they've described the holes in their hearts. No, when they were writing this script, nobody said, "You think that's a little insensitive? Maybe we should use a different phrase here." The holes in their hearts. That's brutal.
As a father, I know a parent's worst nightmare is to lose a child, to feel like you can't protect your child from harm. Beyond these precious lives that are lost to firearm violence, there are wider ripples of harm to those who are injured, who witness the incidents, who live in urban and rural communities where such violence takes place, and who constantly read and hear about firearm violence in the news. The collective trauma and fear that Americans are
Why did we allow this kind of logic to enter into like rational spaces? This guy, like all these people always do with this kind of crap, he's including people who've heard about it. So it's those who lose lives to firearms, those who are injured, those who are direct witnesses, those who are exposed in affected communities, those who experience collective trauma and fear, and how he actually said it was those who hear about it, like in the news.
Injured, who witness the incidents, who live in urban and rural communities where such violence takes place, and who constantly read and hear about firearm violence in the news.
Who constantly read and hear about firearms. Oh, come on. Get out of here. First of all, that's the left wing's fault because they love talking about, they love scaring people about gun violence. But this, a public health crisis, does not make.
The collective trauma and fear that Americans are experiencing is contributing to the mental health challenges that we are facing today.
See, that's the problem. Once we've accepted the kinds of ideas like mental health as like a reasonable thing to say, even though it's completely not a reasonable thing to say, this is where we've had a problem. This is where you can now have The U.S. Surgeon General declare gun violence a public health crisis. Get out of here.
Nearly 6 in 10 US adults say they worry about a loved one being a victim of firearm violence.
Well, that either leads me to believe one of two things. 6 in 10 U.S. adults are stupid, or 6 in 10 U.S. adults are black. I mean, maybe there's just a lot more people living in the ghettos in cities than I give it credit for. I mean, that could be true. 6 in 10 U.S. adults. That's ridiculous. If you go to where I live and you did a poll like this, because that's the thing, right? Who did they even poll for this? If you went to where I live and you polled somebody and said, do you worry about a loved one being a victim of firearm violence? That's a weird victim of firearm violence. I feel like that's a weird way to phrase that, but it would not be 6 in 10. It would not even be close to that. It would be virtually zero.
Our children should not have to live in fear that they are going to get shot if they go to school. None of us should have to worry that going to the mall or a concert or a house of worship means putting our lives at risk, or that we'll get a call that a loved one in a moment of crisis has taken their own life with a firearm.
Doesn't this kind of play like it's an old SNL skit almost? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. The way he's talking with the flat monotone and even the way it's shot. It reads like I would say a bad SNL skit, but that's redundant. So it reads like an SNL skit.
All of us, regardless of our background or beliefs, want to live in a world that is safe for us and our children. The Surgeon General's advisory lays out the approach we can take to address firearm violence as the public health crisis that it is. This includes implementing community violence prevention programs and firearm risk reduction strategies.
Oh, and maybe we can send in social workers, instead of cops, because cops make everything much worse. And the social workers, I mean, I think that's where he's going with this.
Improving access to mental health care for those exposed to or at risk for firearm violence, and expanding research funding to inform and evaluate our prevention strategies. Firearm violence is a public health crisis. Our failure to address it is a moral crisis. To protect the...
Why on earth is the Surgeon General talking about this? And furthermore, as I said to start this, why on earth is this the Surgeon General? I have a lot of questions. And you notice the way that all this stuff always works? It's not just the Surgeon General. It's just anytime we need to talk about the gun violence crisis in America. He's like, and here's the solutions we're going to put forth. And then you listen to him talk for another 2 minutes, and you go, wait, did I miss it? Where was the solution? What? You never once gave me a solution. I mean, yeah, you said a lot of words at one particular moment, but you did not give me any solutions.
Regardless of our background or beliefs, want to live in a world that is safe for us and our children. The Surgeon General's advisory lays out the approach we can take to address firearm violence as the public health crisis that it is.
See, now this is the thing. Am I gonna? Because we just listened to this, and I must have missed it. What's the solution?
This includes implementing community violence prevention programs and firearm risk reduction strategies.
Two completely worthless statements. What is that? What does that do? What are you talking about? What is? Huh? So you said two things. Okay, that still does not give me any answers as to what's actually going to happen.
Improving access to mental health care for those exposed to
the social workers,
for firearm violence, and expanding research funding to inform and evaluate our prevention strategies.
So basically, what he just did was he laid out 4 different ways to continue to launder taxpayer dollars into things that he wants. Because who can listen to that and go, oh, well, now you had me worried when you were bringing up all the scary data about how guns are the #1 killer of children in America. But now that I know, what you're going to do is you're going to have social workers for people to talk about the mental health effects of hearing about gun violence on the news. And we're going to spend more time and money to research and collect data on this. Well, my fears have been put to rest. Thank you. Now I know that when we do these things, guns will no longer be the #1 killer of children in America.
Firearm violence is a public health crisis. Our failure to address it is a moral crisis. To protect the health and well-being of Americans, especially our children, we must now act with the clarity, courage, and urgency that this moment demands.
This is my least favorite way of talking, like a politician. That was a whole lot of nothing. Thank you, U.S. Surgeon General. Thank you for bringing the tomfoolery hard right off the top. Man. Moving on. It is with a heavy heart that I must inform you that I've come to an unavoidable conclusion based off of things that I've been seeing in media recently. And that conclusion is we are about to have a painfully unfunny wave of anti-woke, in-your-face comedy specials. Or shows. Because we had Mr. Burcham, and we watched the first episode of that on the Discord shortly after it came out, and damn, that was painful. That was not good. And there's another one now. It's called The New Norm Show. And it's already painful just from reading what they themselves wrote about this. So, the South Park of X. Legalize humor. Good God. All of this stuff, Mr. Burcham, and then this wave of this type of comedy on YouTube, that's obviously now going to become shows, is like 10 years too late. This would have been funny and edgy 10 years ago. And now it's just kind of annoying and cringe and sad and pathetic and just not funny at all. Actually, it's so bad that if I told you before we watched any of this, if I told you, here is a show made by leftists to mock conservative right-wingers, you could easily read it that way. Easily read it that way. Dude, this is really bad. As you can see, I watched like 2 minutes of it. Holy crap, man. This is, I don't know yet if it's as bad as Mr. Burcham, but it says, so the New Norm Show, check the mini pilot of the first animated sitcom on X, featuring Larry Elder, Dave Rubin, and JP Sears. Support this show and help fight the woke mind virus with laughter. Again, this is 5 to 10 years too late to be funny. This is painful.
What's that?
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm. I'm the old norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, warning.
See, already right off the bat, you see what I mean? This could be, if I told you that this was made by a leftist to mock right-wingers, you could believe it. Right, just right from that, the first few seconds of this.
What's that?
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm.
See, just that first 14 seconds. If I told you this was made by a leftist to criticize right-wingers, you would believe it. You would absolutely believe it.
Ain't the same as the old norm. I'm the old norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, warning. Perimeter reached.
Ugh. It's your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
they stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow!
Oh, man, this is painful. Good God. This is really bad. All right. Here we go. I'm going to get further this time than I did the first time I watched it. This clip's only 3 minutes and 42 seconds long. And the first time I watched it, I didn't even make it halfway through. So, here we go.
Janice! What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also they, them, and me.
You're non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
Norm, the judge agreed to conditional parole.
What condition?
Where's my room?
That's
You're
staying here?
Chaz is
man,
part of a new
this is
government
painful.
program.
To re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist.
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
I don't understand. You're black.
Did that just Black Whisper?
You're his friend?
And boss, speaking of, when you coming back to the trophy shop?
As soon as I get rid of this, which
See, you get it? The non-binary guy can't believe that the old white guy has a black friend. This is groundbreaking comedy. Man. This is about as far as I made it last time. I think I made it 5 seconds longer than this the first time I tried to watch this.
means I gotta take in that?
Offensive.
Chaz is here to re-educate Norm.
In non-bonery studies.
Offensive.
I'm allergic to dogs.
It's okay. Billy is an emotional support dog and non-binary.
Oh, okay then. Good dog.
I come here to get away from woke.
Trouble at home?
Oh, my boy, or whatever it calls themselves now, is thinking about transitioning.
Reggie?
Try Regina.
Transitioning to what?
Another fumble.
Hopefully not a Jets fan.
Hey, pronoun. This bud's for you.
Oh my God, it's just killed me. Holy crap, this is so bad. Oh man. Holy hell. All right, it's almost done with it. God, I'm going to rip my hair out and bash my head against the wall.
I can't drink. I'm not 21.
Y'all influenced my boy to cut off his junk, but draw the line at beer?
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Can't do this.
Yes, we can.
Find a way to break him. Maybe we can fix the country.
I just want normals. Beer.
You know there'll be jokes.
New norm ain't the same as the old norm.
Holy hell, that's brutal, you guys. I can tell you, I don't think I'm going to be watching this show. Who even wants this? Honestly, like who's out there clamoring for this kind of content? I think it's a complete mistake that there's, like Daily Wire and now whoever's putting this together, as well as the newer stuff on YouTube. Major mistake to think that because people are tired of wokeness and leftism, that this is a way to go, that people are going to like this. Like I said, this would have been funny 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah, this is way too late. Where I think they're going to realize that the demographic they're trying to hit with this, that agrees with it in principle, is not going to want to watch this because it's garbage. It's utter garbage. It's terrible. Yeah, see, it's because they're retweeting accounts like End Wokeness and Ian Miles Chong, and they're saying like Gina Carano, look, this is really proof that this is stuff people are gonna like. No, this is really bad. Major mistake. Major mistake. Moving on to something. Whoa. Stop. Moving on to something that is way funnier than the new Norm or Mr. Bertram could ever be, and it's not meant to be funny at all, which, of course, is what makes it more funny. From the World Jewish Congress. This video is a year old, but it just started going viral, and of course they had to turn the comments off, but the video is called Anti-Semitism in the Comments, and it's just Jewish people reading anti-Semitic comments. And they are obviously, it's supposed to garner some sympathy and supposed to be like, oh no. But this, I've never understood this. Emotional blackmail doesn't work on me. It's like when, some black politician shares some totally super real, you guys, totally super duper real racist comment that they got on their Twitter or something. And we're supposed to be sad because, oh no, look at this poor black person in Congress. Someone said, you're a stupid black person on Twitter from an anonymous account or something. And now we're supposed to be very disturbed by this and upset. And the comments are totally super real. 100% legit real, of course. Totally not made up. But here's the World Jewish Congress version of this, and I gotta tell you, this is funnier. Like I said, this is funnier than anything the new Norm show or Mr. Bertram could do, and it's not meant to be funny, but son of a, it's hilarious. And I haven't watched the whole thing. I found it online on X. Yeah, I know. Don't say it. On X, and I had to go find the original because the one I found on X only had like a snippet. So we're gonna watch this whole thing, and dude, I was rolling watching this. Anti-Semitism in the comments, and like I said, they turned the comments off because why wouldn't you? Classic.
Judaism is literally a racist cult which promotes pedophilia and rape.
Jews, they don't deserve to be called people. Parasites or insects is more accurate.
This one says, if I got kicked out of 109 bars with 109 different owners, I would think the problem lies with me. So he's referring to the 109 countries the Jews have been kicked out of.
Some alternative ways.
First of all, the funniest part already, is this part. This little dude, and look how he smirks about it. He doesn't even because they used to try to say that this was like it's an anti-Semitic trope. It's like Shapiro will do that where he'll avoid it at all costs, but if something happens where he has to acknowledge something like the 109 countries, he always writes it off as if it's like a fake thing. It's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. This guy seems like he's actually proud of it. He smirks about it, and he's like, okay, this is referring to the 109 countries that Jews have been kicked out of. He's just saying it as he's referring. You can read the he's referring to the 109 countries that Jews. So you're saying his point is correct, which is just hilarious. And watch his face when he says it. When he like looks down as he's saying it, it's like he's proud of it. It's dude, this is hilarious. Someone needs to get the guys from the New Norm show and Mr. Burcham and send them this and go, this, my friend, is what we call comedy.
Problem lies with me. So he's referring to the 109 countries the Jews have been kicked.
Look at it. Look at his face when he does it. Look at his face. Oh, damn. Let's slow it down. Where's the playback speed?
Countries.
Look at him. Look at him. Oh, look at him.
Jews have been kicked out of.
Oh, that's gold.
Some alternative ways to say Jew: K-slur, Satan, devil, oven-baked, long-nosed, stingy merchant, Shylock, the people of cremation.
This stuff is also hilarious to me because it's people who they just want, and I don't mean just the Jews with this. It's like I said, it's like the black politicians that, you know, somebody says something, a joke. Like these are clearly mostly jokes that are being said here. And there could be hatred behind them, no doubt, for sure. But it's not the same to say, like, if you posted voluntarily on Twitter saying, what did she say? How did it start? Some alternative ways to say Jew, which is totally something that one of these Jewish organizations would tweet and then just be shocked when people started making jokes about it, which of course it's not shock, it's bait. But so if you said, what are some other ways to say Jew? And then I said, people of cremation. That's a joke, my brother. And dude, I'm telling you, the tomfoolery for this one is off the scale. So apparently, I'm just learning this now. You're not allowed to say, she starts it with K-slur. K-slur. The K-slur. So you're not allowed to say kike, I guess, on here. But you can say Shylock. And I just think that isn't that weird? Something doesn't seem right. Oops. Oh, the tomfoolery scale has come up. Something just doesn't seem right about that to me. So there's something I don't get that at all. K-slur Shylock. That doesn't seem right, does it? I don't.
Stingy merchant, Shylock, the people of cremation, beings with the cursed blood, dirty Zionist, Christ killer. Someone says you belong in an oven. The smiley face.
Don't hold your breath.
What? And come on. We're just gonna roll right past this one, huh? Christ killer. This one drives me insane. That the Jews are allowed to get upset when someone points out that they killed Christ. We didn't do it. It wasn't a. Okay, it's yes, you did. It's in the Bible. Okay, I know it's the New Testament, the part that you don't like, but for a Christian to accuse a Jew of having killed Christ is not an absurd thing, even though apparently it is to, or it's anti-Semitic to say. All I'm saying is if I got my neighbor to come over and pull up all the weeds out of my garden and then somehow felt that I wasn't responsible for that, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if I got my neighbor to come over and to cut down a tree in my yard, but he wouldn't have done that. I went and got him and I somehow manipulated him into it. and got him to do it. And then I was like, why did you cut down that tree? I would think that I am responsible. Well, you know, sure. The tomfoolery.
Christ killer. Someone says, you belong in an oven. The smiley face.
Don't hold your breath, or on second thought, very much hold your breath.
On the topic of money, one person commented, true, most billionaires are often of the Cohen tribe.
Julia Jassie's MO is to divide and conquer.
See, again, this is comedy gold. Half the stuff they're saying aren't even insults. They're just statements of fact. But they're like looking at the camera and have sad music playing. Like the guy saying the 109 countries thing. He doesn't even dispute it. He's just like, dun, 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 like sad music's playing, and it's like, yeah, he's referring to the 109 countries we were kicked out of. And that's like, she gives this look like, this is so bad. Most billionaires are of the Cohen tribe. What, I'm sorry, is that a statement of fact, or is that not a statement of fact? They never address it. I'm telling you, this is comedy gold.
True, most billionaires are often of the Cohen tribe.
Julia Jassie's MO is to divide and conquer. She's a megalomaniac with an insatiable hunger to rule over the goyim. I wish I were as powerful as I think that I am.
See, this is like the 109 countries thing again. First of all, this is not saying that you're powerful. It's like, I wish I was as powerful as they say that I am. You can have literally no power at all and still technically be a megalomaniac with an insatiable hunger to rule over the goyim. You can be that with having no power. So I don't know. And she's like smirking through it. I mean, this is gold.
Over the goyim. I wish I were as powerful as I think that I am.
God, and she does that little thing at the end just like that other guy did. Ah, God.
Getting these comments on a daily basis kind of numbs you down. You just become desensitized to it.
When I was still in college, I was getting flooded with hate messages that I put my social media on private. About a year ago, I decided it was time to go public again. And I said, if I'm not getting the narrative out
so
there,
brave.
then who is?
I feel like it makes you want to do more because you realize how much of hate there is. There's all these comments behind like faceless profiles.
This is another thing. Like he's saying, like behind faceless profiles. Yeah. And according to you, you didn't even disagree with the comment. I'm telling you, this is the same as when like the black congressperson. Yeah. It's with a heavy heart, I have to tell you guys that someone was mean to me on the internet. Do you know how many emails and anonymous messages I've gotten since I started this channel 3 years ago, where people are talking about wanting to like cut my head off? Believe me, it's more than just one. It's happened quite a lot. But this guy's over here saying, this guy said a true thing to me. It really wears you down, you know? It's just really sad. Oh, classic. This reminds me of, you remember that other one? That other, it's just like combating, like, was it from like Stop Anti-Semitism? The one where it's the dad, oh yeah, here it is. Stand Up to Jewish Hate. This is hilarious too. Again, not supposed to be hilarious, but definitely hilarious.
I saw what you've been posting. Hitler was right. I didn't teach you that. You hide behind your screen, spewing all this hatred and ugliness. You got something you want to say? Get out of the truck and say it to their faces.
I'm telling you, the first time this came up, I was not prepared. That was just the funniest shit I'd ever. This ad comes up and it's.
I saw what you've been posting. Hitler was right.
Oh. It's gold. I'm telling you, someone's got to get a hold of the people from Daily Wire who are doing Mr. Bertram, and someone's got to get a hold of the people that are doing the new Norm show and show them these clips and say, now, I know you guys are trying to do something here, but this is what comedy actually is. I'm sure Shapiro would love it. Come on, it is funny. You can't get around it. This is what happens when you take something so seriously that doesn't seem to align with most people's perception of reality. It then becomes comedy because you're being absurd. All right. In case you missed it, the Swamp Year 3 mug out now. Glass, mug, cup, glassware, kitchenware. It's a vessel that holds liquids, is what it is. So if you want to continue your collection of the Swamp Mug Club, the Swamp Drinkware Club, available now. Link in the description. And make sure you like the stream. And of course, Super Chats will activate the Super Chat jukebox if you're having fun on this Tomfoolery Tuesday. Moving on. Moving on. Hey, I have to, here, hang on. I got a white monster, you guys. That's how you know it's about to get serious up in here. Drinking a white monster. All right, should we move on to some more ridiculous LGBTQ demons, I guess, is really the only way to refer to it? Or to the far more disturbing story, actually, arguably, about the future of prisons and the use of AI and like Neuralink, the thing that Elon Musk has, been pioneering. Because that is some tomfoolery on a level that's just out of control. Okay, let's go to the AI thing, the AI prisons thing. And then we can close with all the LGBTQ stuff, because, it's still Pride Month. By the grace of God, it's still Pride Month. By the grace of the multi-dimensional, non-gender specific demons, it's still Pride Month. So I'm telling you, if you follow Storybook Friends, I made a joke about this, that I think this has been the least gay Pride Month I've experienced in years. There hasn't been as much of it. There's a lot of people are not having it anymore, finally. What took them so long to come around, I'm not really sure, but all right, let's watch this AI thing before we close out with all the LGBTQs. Damn it, X, come on. It's because I was making fun of Elon Musk and his Neuralink. They heard me. They heard me. There we go.
Welcome to Cognify, a facility designed to treat criminals like patients. Instead of spending years in an actual prison cell, prisoners could finish their sentence here in just a few minutes. Cognify could someday create and implant artificial memories directly into the prisoner's brain. These complex, vivid, and lifelike memories are created in real time using AI-generated content. Depending on the seriousness of the subject's crime and their sentence, the memories could be tailored to the rehabilitation needs of each subject. The artificial memories implanted by Cognify would be seamlessly incorporated into the existing neural networks of the brain, preventing cognitive dissonance and ensuring the subject experiences the memories as if they were real. The Cognify concept offers a new...
This falls under one of those categories of it warrants quoting Jurassic Park. You were so concerned about whether you could, you didn't stop to think whether you should. I mean, this is bonkers. There is no good that could ever come from creating this, and yet we are creating it, and we're actually not that far off from it. Why? Why on earth would somebody do this?
Approach to criminal rehabilitation, transforming how society deals with offenders by focusing on rehabilitation rather than punishment. First, the prisoner is given a choice, either spending tens of years in a prison cell or seeking fast-track rehabilitation through art.
Oh, and they take your skin off your face during this process is also what I'm getting from this.
Artificial memory implantation. If the prisoner chooses to undergo fast-track rehabilitation, the Cognify device is used. Next, the prisoner undergoes high-resolution brain scanning to create a detailed map of their neural pathways. This brain map helps guide the Cognify device to target specific brain regions responsible for memory, reasoning, and logical thinking, such as the hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, amygdala, parietal lobe, and anterior cingulate cortex. Once the target brain regions are identified,
it is pretty interesting, isn't it, that the only things we've ever created in, media, fiction, science fiction about this kind of stuff has always been that the horrors that it can create. It's just, what a terror. It's all warnings against it. And then at the same time we go, hey, check this shit out, man. This is, check this out, man. Why on earth would we do this? It really is you were so concerned about whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think whether or not you should. This is one of those things that Elon Musk is coming with doing with the Neuralink. I mean, and again, everyone knows that you're not, like, all of these people are not intentionally trying to create the worst thing in the history of humanity. Because I've heard Elon Musk talk about the Neuralink stuff, and he's talking how amazing it's going to be able to like help a paraplegic walk, and we can make blind people see and all this stuff. Well, oh yeah, okay. Or someone could hack your brain and just pump Rickroll videos into your subconscious until you kill yourself. Or they could do this thing where they're saying, "Oh, this is going to be great. It's like a rehabilitation." Really? Oh yeah, the technology where in a split second you can implant enough actual memories into somebody's brain where they think that they've undergone some kind of event and they wouldn't even know that it wasn't real unless you told them that it wasn't real. Oh yeah, what could go wrong with that? This is great. This is fantastic. This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Identified, Cognify is then placed around the head of the prisoner. The intensity and the type of artificial memories is then adjusted depending on the crime. Inside the criminal's mind, time would pass differently, slower than in real life, making them experience years' worth of artificial memories in just a few minutes. Synthetic memories are customized depending on the crime committed and the unique brain structure and psychological profile of the individual. Violent offenders could experience memories that are designed to trigger empathy and remorse, seeing their crime from the perspective of their victim, feeling their pain and suffering firsthand. Some memories are designed to trigger consequences and trauma. Such memories could simulate the long-term consequences of violent actions, such as the grief of the victim's family or the physical and emotional trauma endured by the victim. Artificial memories could
This isn't even a disaster waiting to happen. It just is a disaster from the onset. I am failing to see the upside to this. It's like, oh, you know that thing that really isn't a problem? You know, locking someone away in a box for 40 years because they did something heinous. You know, it's not really an issue. And in fact, we don't do it enough. We can totally skip that. Huh? What? Wait, so what is the issue that we're solving here? And they're trying to, you could rehabilitate. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that for a second. They're saying, like, they can make the murderer or, you know, the rapist or whatever experience their crime from the perspective of the victim, and that's somehow going to change. No, it's not. This is something that for some reason has become like the most common way of thinking in our world today, is that basically everybody's the same as you, and they all are good people, like deep down, and they've just like lost their way, or they misunderstood something, or no, that is not true. Someone who becomes a serial murderer, you may have been able to catch it early on, you know, before the murders happen, but how could you possibly know? But after a certain point, it's just like, you think that person's going to be like, oh, dang, wait a minute. You're telling me that when I kidnapped that girl, tortured her, and then chopped her head off, she wasn't into it. Wow, this is... Now, you know, this was the missed connection. You see, I didn't realize that. I thought that she was... Now that I've experienced it from the other side, I realized that she was not into it. No. It's like how they talk, you know, oh, all these migrants that we're just going to allow illegally to come up, you know, across our border. They're all just good people just like us. Everyone around the whole world is just like us. And everyone's just like decent people. Sure, some people who do bad things only do it out of circumstance. And if they just, you know, if they had better options, they wouldn't do it. Now that is tomfoolery on a level that is very hard to comprehend. So in short, no, we should not be furthering this technology. But you know we are. We're gonna keep going down the rabbit hole, and there's enough movies and books out there about how this ends. I don't think we even need to. That's the thing. You don't even have to speculate and like come up with something. Its initial intention is the bad thing. I just don't understand. Like, what is the problem that's being solved? What is the good thing that you're even wanting to have happen here? Because it seems to me everything that they just said in the first 2.5 minutes of this video is just, yeah, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension, right? I mean, even their rose-colored glasses version of it is like, huh? What are you... Dude, where is the good here? It's all bad news, man. Speaking of bad news, in case you were not aware, our whole political system is an absolute joke. But here is somebody. Jeez, I'm just reading this person's profile right now. Good God. So this is some drag queen that's now going to be talking, and I guess he was at DC, and now he's been on CNN, and is lobbying Congress for LGBTQ plus protections. And if this person felt that this was like there was an actual need for this, you would think, well, shit, I'm going to be on TV, or I'm going to lobby Congress. Well, I better clean up and like put on a suit and like be presentable. Like if what you were asking for was a serious thing, but you had an unserious job, you would show up to lobby for your cause presentable. You know what I mean? It's if you're like one of those character actors in Hollywood, you know, like the big tall skinny guy who's been in like countless horror movies because his body proportions are so weird, you know. If he was to go somewhere, like he had to go to court for something, or if he had to go, for instance, lobby Congress for something, it would be like if he showed up to Congress and instead of wearing a suit to talk to them, he walks in dressed up like that thing from, was it Hellraiser? You know, the crazy thing with was it Labyrinth? The guy with the eyes on his hands. You know, if he showed up to Congress dressed like that and that makeup and everything, because that's what he does for a living. You know, he acts like a crazy person. I mean, he's a monster character actor. So when he goes to lobby Congress, instead of wearing a suit, he dresses up like some freak from Hellraiser. That is the equivalent of this. This person says they want to lobby for LGBTQ rights and protections, but then they show up dressed in their crazy ass drag stuff. No. There is no other context where this would ever be acceptable. But here we are, and we're supposed to say, wow, you look great. Slay, queen. This is awesome. And oh man, I did not notice this before. First of all, brace yourselves, because I'm about to put this on screen. I did not notice this. This makes this significantly worse. Look at the time. Somebody put this person on air for people to wake up to see at 5:54 in the morning. Dude, if I just rolled out of bed and I'm trying to put on a pot of coffee and, you know, heat up a biscuit or something, and I'm like, I'm going to flip on the news while I'm here, and this is what jumped out at me at 5:54 in the morning, someone's getting sued. I'm going after CNN. I mean, what a ridiculous. That is disrespectful on a level that's hard to comprehend. But what would you expect? What else would you expect? Oh God.
I'm curious for you, first of all, what this day means to you, and second of all, have both Democrats and Republicans agreed to meet with you?
Yes, we will be meeting with both Democrats and Republicans, and I'm really excited to go speak with all.
I'm going to need those names. Not the Democrats, but the Republicans. I'm going to need a list of those names. Who are the Republicans that are like, yeah, bring it on?
All of our lawmakers about the attacks that we're seeing on our LGBTQ community. It's so important to talk about and to discuss protections for our queer community.
Can I let you listen to the current sentiment that's being shared?
Now, if you're worried and you need protections, you think something's going on, you know, that you're in danger, let me make a suggestion. Don't dress like this. Problem solved. Boom. Pack it up, boys. We can go home now. We have solved the problem. I'm not saying you can't do it at, 2:30 in the morning in some skeezy nightclub in a red light district somewhere in, some bad part of town. But I'm just saying, if you've noticed an uptick in people generally being unpleasant towards you, and this is how you walk around, well, I might have a super easy solution to this problem. And it's a hell of a lot easier than going and lobbying Congress for LGBTQ plus protections. It is. Just don't act like a jackass in public all the time. Just do it in a bar at 2:30 in the morning in a red light district somewhere where the people who want to see it can see it. It's super easy. It's super easy.
Aired by former President Donald Trump, who, of course, is running for re-election. Here it is.
We're going to take care of our capital. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding of any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity,
Oh, nice.
and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children.
In those three things, he mentions what he calls transgender insanity. If he's voted in as the next president, what will that mean to you?
We already see so many.
And to be fair, when I was looking at the time, I didn't check the time zone. So 8, 9, it's still way too early. But better than 5:56 a.m. That's all I'm saying.
Attacks on our queer community. I already don't feel safe in my own hometown, just dressed in drag like this, and it's very scary.
What did I tell you? How did I know that would fix almost all of this dude's problems? He even knows it, but he won't do it. First of all, guarantee you wherever the hell this guy lives is in no way unsafe for someone who looks like this. That's like when people who you see these LGBTQ activists. I don't even feel safe where I live. Where do you live? L.A. Oh, well, it's trust me. It's not because you're a homosexual why you're unsafe. It's because of all the illegals and drugged out homeless people that have it's nothing to do with the gay thing. Trust me. I feel unsafe where I live. Oh yeah, really? Why? Where do you live? Portland. Oh shit, I would feel unsafe in Portland. Jeez. But yeah, I love that. He actually acknowledges exactly what I was saying.
Three things he mentions what he calls transgender insanity. If he's voted in as the next president, what will that?
And why do they bring on drag queens to talk about transgenderism? I mean, they're not the same thing. In fact, the very idea of drag queens mocks the idea of transgenderism. So I've never understood that this is somehow related. I guess, well, I mean, on one hand, it makes perfect sense if you're a sane person because you go, oh, well, they're both men dressing up like women, right? They're both freaky degenerates, but they don't see it that way. They think that it's not a man dressing as a woman. It's actually the man dressing up as a woman actually is a woman. So it seems like those two things contradict and mock each other. So I don't really understand why they're tied together on an actual intellectual level. Of course, they don't see it that way, but this person's also dressed like this at 5:56 in the morning. So I don't know what to tell you.
That mean to you?
Here we go. This is the part I was saying.
We already see so many attacks on our queer community. I already don't feel safe in my own hometown, just dressed in drag like this. And it's very scary for queer people to exist in a time where we see this kind of rhetoric being pushed by our lawmakers and the people who should care about other issues that actually affect the American people other than attacking our community, our LGBT.
Oh, yeah. I don't even feel safe in my own town just dressing like, and you could tell right then he was debating, am I going to lie or am I going to tell the truth? because he was totally setting it up to say, just dressed as myself, just dressed as a man, just because he was making it sound like it was a totally normal thing he was about to say. But then it goes, just dressed as my drag clothes. Oh, well, if that's all, well, this is totally fucking normal. This is the most normal shit I've ever seen. Yeah, wow. You're telling me somebody was walking down the street and saw you at 5:56 a.m. and was like, what in the fuck? What is wrong with this man? And that's supposed to be everyone else's fault, not his fault. The tomfoolery, you guys. The tomfoolery is just off the charts. All right. Moving on to one that we've had on the docket for a while, haven't gotten to. Most people have already talked about this, whatever, but as per usual, I went to actually go find the thing. You know, the story and all this. This is very old. It's the whole U-turn signs are gay. They apparently have been talking about this for a long time. Jeez, I lost the video. Here, let's watch this one, I guess.
We're on Griffith Park Boulevard, right on the side of District 13, and today we removed these no U-turn signs that were connected to the no cruising signs that were used to discriminate against the LGBT community. And so we removed the last remnants of that really terrible policy, and so it's a very joyful and exciting day.
They slipped through the cracks. They were a relic of the 90s anti-gay policies in Los Angeles. There were signs that explicitly said no cruising, which had been removed years ago.
During the 1990s, it was very much a cruisy area where a lot of the LGBT community had no other option but to meet each other in the streets. So this became a very famous place.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... This is when you know that you're at the end times of an empire. That we've reached, the apex was reached quite a while ago, and now this is the problem. These are the issues that people think are like, I was discriminated against. Oh yeah, why is that? They didn't want me to drive around at 4:30 in the morning in a residential area and have sex with men on the sidewalk. Oh, wow. This is the civil rights struggle of our era. But when these are the things that you have people walking around thinking that this is important. This is important, you guys. That's when you know you've reached the end. This is the falling of a great empire. We're watching it in real time. And sometimes I go back and forth. Sometimes that irritates me that I'm the one who it had to be me. It had to be my generation. I had to actually be alive for this. And I'm like, man, why couldn't I have lived in the United States when things were actually going somewhat good, you know? Before the fall. But then at the same time, what a privilege to actually be alive to watch this and be sane through it. Not be the one who's, doing something so crazy. But to get to watch it, it's actually kind of a privilege. It doesn't happen that often. Comparatively, there's been a lot of people in all of human history who've lived fairly decent lives, and very few of them got to watch the absolutely chaotic crash and burn of a society. So in some ways, we're lucky. I mean, that's it. You gotta... I'm just trying to help you guys get through the day because it gets to me sometimes. And it's all about perspectives, you know?
I reached out to the city and had asked them what we could do to get these signs taken down, and that initiated a 2-year process, which got done today. They are finally down. It felt awesome.
The queer community has not always had the privilege or the freedom to gather in spaces that embrace identities like this, and so I take that responsibility really seriously.
Councilmember Rahman and I are not only friends, but we're very values aligned, and so we teamed up. If we remove one sign from one side of the street, we're going to do one on the other, and of course bring the community together to celebrate this great day.
Yeah, what a great day. What a game changer. I mean, walking down this street now, oh, damn. You do not want to know how they're going to celebrate this. Shortly after this was filmed, the same night, in fact, but wait a minute, this is LA. Yeah, why are they doing this? It's already legal to be naked in public. This is the end of the empire type stuff, because this is just what a totally bonkers thing to do. This is I have no real problems. Therefore, all my made up problems actually affects me more than if I had real problems. Yeah, this is a game changer, man. And I do want to pull this up because I came across this while I was looking for these clips. And it just seems funny. It seems like it would fit with Tomfoolery.
Signs. They are everywhere. Filthy, faded, in your face, and for the most part, bossy.
Street signs are generally negative language. Things like stop, do not enter, wrong way, negative, negative, negative.
And no one likes to be negative, especially not Scott Froshour.
Fuck you. I like being negative, shithead.
He's an artist, which means he's not that great with numbers.
How old are you?
47.
They're tough questions.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's really good with art.
Public art.
Yeah, public.
First of all, this guy had to pretend to count to his age, which is just ridiculous. But of course, this guy who's talking about the meanness of street signs, of course his art includes the phrase, "I can't adult anymore." Adulting is hard. Now, this story, it says, this is from 6 years ago. This is the kind of jackass that has led to us now celebrating the taking down of no cruising and no U-turn signs because gay men want to just go at it in the street. Humble beginnings. This was the humble beginnings of that.
Good with art.
Public art.
Yeah, public art, but hidden in plain view, which makes it
a different kind of public art?
Different, because his works look like street signs, only with much more positive instructions.
There's nothing more mundane than like a stop sign, because you just see it every day and you start to blur them out. And then after 3 or 4 days of walking by,
this guy blurs out stop signs in his imagination. The whole point of a stop sign is so that you see it and you stop. I hope to God this guy does not have a driver's license. This guy, he'll be out driving, and after he takes the same route a few times, he just starts running all the stop signs because he just start to blur it out, you know? It's no big deal. This is one of my least favorite kind of people. You see less of them now because nowadays they also say that they're homosexuals, so that makes it even worse. But this kind of artist, the guy who says he's young at heart, man, he can't even remember really his age. But you know, words are negative, man. And so check this out. Stay with me here. because I know this is going to freaking blow your mind, dude. This is going to blow your mind. So they have these stop signs, right? Red and white, stop. It's negative. It's a big thing. And check this out. Trust me. Just go with me on this journey, okay? Because this is something that's going to totally change your whole worldview, man. What if instead of a red and white stop sign, it's a red and white start sign? Yeah, I'm telling you. You really let it sink in. Let it wash over you. Start. Because the signs normally say stop. And there's a very negative connotation with that. This one, however, looks exactly like that one, but it says start. It might be too deep for you because I've dedicated my whole life to art, and I don't even really know how long that is because I'm such a free spirit. But it's you call me when your perspective changes and your horizons broaden enough to understand the glory of the start sign. Okay, it says start. All right, it's like this is my art piece. What? You didn't do anything? No, man. I moved everything in this room 2 inches to the left. Oh wow, yeah, that is the art. I can feel the art. It's amazing.
Right, you might look at it and say, that's not what I expected it to say.
Fortunately for Froschauer, the city of Glendale was looking for art.
Public art.
That's right, public art, but edgy public art.
What can we do that's new and interesting? I said, well, I think this is new and interesting. And they said, yes, we think this is.
So now Froschauer has 20 of these signs installed or ready to be installed all throughout Glendale.
Well, I hope someone kicked that guy's ass. I mean, it has nothing to do with this or his signs. I feel in general that guy just needs to get his ass kicked. It seems like he's lived 47 years. And this was 6 years ago, so I don't know what's going on now, 6 years later, but it seems like up to this point, he'd lived 47 years without getting his ass kicked. And that's just, that ain't right. I mean, we've definitely gone astray if that guy did not get his ass kicked. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have 2 more short videos, just nothing really long, and then the palate cleanser at the end to get rid of all this tomfoolery. Make sure you've liked the stream. If you have not, check out the Swamp Year 3 merch. I may eventually add, maybe once a year, I'll put all the years back up there. And you can, if you're missing some in a collection, because I usually only leave them up for like 2 months or something like that. And maybe I can put them all back up there, and you can get year 1, 2, and 3. Year 2 was my favorite so far, but I gotta say this one's definitely up there. But year 2 I think is my favorite, mainly because I just use that one all the time, actually, in my kitchen. But I like this one because it's shaped like a aluminum can. I don't know. I thought that was cool. It's not just the regular glass shape. It's like based off a can. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. If you've enjoyed the stream, make sure you have liked it. Link to merch and link to the Discord is in the description. Super chats to activate the super chat jukebox. Let's move on. Spirit Airlines. Basically a meme. Everyone knows how terrible Spirit Airlines is. I've never flown on Spirit. I have no idea. People make memes about it, But if I didn't know anything about them beforehand, when I saw this, I would basically come to the same conclusion as if I'd been watching memes about how crappy Spirit Airlines is. So here is Spirit Airlines on their official Instagram. Stuff's great. I wonder if this is a copyrighted song they're playing on here. It probably is. Oh, yeah. Of course it is. So there you go. And of course it's Lady Gaga. I should have guessed that. Yeah, honest to God, at this point, I just don't even know what to say. Oh, I keep pulling up the tomfoolery scale on accident. God. So obviously there's everything that can be said about, oh, look at these homos and all that stuff, which that well has been very good to me. But it's more than that, you know? This group of people, there's just something very, very wrong that we've created in this country. It's microplastics and seed oils and I don't know. I mean, obviously the leftist indoctrination that's made people even more retarded, but I mean, just like look at this dude. Look at this dude right here. He's the meme. He's the soy jack meme. That's why they hate those memes, by the way, is because they're just so freaking spot on. But I mean, look at it. Look at it. I want all of you to look at it. But there's just something has happened to human beings. The the species as it is. This is not normal, and it's clearly affected everything. It's like some people don't like you to talk about actual like physiognomy, you know, the types of people and like the I mean, look, oh my God. It's not just the gay thing. The gay thing is the easy thing to talk about. Example, this dude right here. Look at the face and the doughy physique. Looks like he's maybe anywhere from 18 to like, I don't know, 23, 24 years old. Guarantee you that this guy's over 30. This is something that I've brought up a lot, but needs to be talked about a lot more. Yeah, we talk about how people don't grow up, and we generally mean that like they like childish things. But they actually literally aren't growing up. It's like their bodies are not developing properly. It's like how when you look at pictures of your grandparents from when they were 18, by our standards, they look like they're like 48. And it's not just because it's not something that could be explained away by like, well, someone who lives a harder life, it's harder on their body. That's not it. Because you could go back through the decades in the United States, they were not living significantly harder lives than us, like physically, you know? And they did not look like this. So something's not good. That's just what that has happened here. Like, look at this guy. I said the gay thing obviously is a part of it. But more than anything, it's almost more of a symptom than a cause. You know what I mean? It's out of control. It's really pathetic. It actually it makes me sick to my stomach to look at it most of the time. Like where you have men now that will be in their 30s and they just can't grow a beard at all. Like there's obviously people can grow different kinds of, some people grow better beards than others, but to just not be able to grow a beard where your beard looks like you just hit puberty and it's kind of coming in. It's the low testosterone levels. All our hormones are way out of whack. Everything is just screwed up. This is not the way that human beings are supposed to work. Yeah, the soy faces with the low testosterone, man. It's brutal. All right, thank you, Vic, for the super chat. Let's hit the super chat jukebox, shall we? If it let's see if it works.
People are in the queue. I'm just telling you. Oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. Is he Q?
We're wondering if you're Q. Are you Q? Oh man, I saw a pretty funny video earlier today of Eric Erickson? Is that the guy's name? Man, just being a total loser about Alex Jones. Man, what a total. Speaking of phenotypes, hormones being out of whack and everything. That guy. Damn. Total non sequitur, really. I mean, I know Alex Jones was just on screen, but I don't have the clip to show you, so it's kind of a worthless thing to say, but that's what we're here for, damn it. All right. The final clip before we go to the palate cleanser. Here we go. I'm pretty excited about this, and I actually haven't watched this at all. Because I just had to see it live for the first time. There's a lot of information going on here. So already hilarious. I mean, you just look at it, hilarious. But so it's this fat lady on TikTok. Again, already just hilarious. But somebody asking, "You're a small fat. Why are you speaking over super fats?" And I actually think that this is a troll account. But what this troll account is saying is 100% true, because they actually have this weird fat spectrum, as it said, the fatness spectrum. And I really want to learn about this. That's what I would like to. We're gonna learn about the fatness spectrum.
Okay, this is the fatness spectrum. A small fat is a size 18 and lower, 1x or 2x. I'm a 4x, 5x. I'm a size 26, sometimes 28. I am the super fat you say I'm speaking over. Okay, this is the fatness spectrum. A small fat is a size...
What is hang on. I have a lot of questions just in this 14 seconds. Torrid. What is a torrid? This is torrid. 4 to 6. Nice. Check it. It's a fat clothing company. No wonder I'd never heard of it, but sizes 10 to 30. And you notice that even the fat companies don't really go for the full super fats in their models. I mean, they're definitely fat, but not this kind of fat, which I think is pretty fat phobic. But here, so okay, the fatness spectrum: small fat, 1x to 2x, 18 and lower. I guess that's the women's sizes, 18 and lower. I guess. Find clothes. It's all pixely, so it's hard to read. Find clothes that fit at mainstream brands and can shop in many stores. So that's a small fat. Actually, you know what? I bet you if I Google this, I could probably find the chart she pulled up. The fatness spectrum. Hey, it's a suggested search. Here we go. Oh, God. Wait, is this person or is this someone ripping on this person? Oh, no, it's someone making fun of them. Okay, never mind. I was hoping I found a new video from this crazy lady. So there's a lot of information here, you guys. So we got our torrid sizes. So I guess so torrid is if you want to feel better about yourself, you go shop at Torrid because instead of being a size 29, you're a size 6. So you feel better about yourself, I guess is what that is. There you go, the fatness spectrum. Here's the chart. Small fat, 1X to 2X, 18 and lower, Torrid 0 to 1, double 0 to 1. Find clothes that fit at mainstream brands and can shop. Somebody made this. Someone actually made this. As used on thefatlip.com. Son of a bitch. Now I got to look up something else. Thefatlip.com. What? Thefatlip.com. Am I going to regret this? Wow. Tell your story. Okay, so where's my about? The Fat Lip is a podcast for and about fat people. Well, this sounds like pure gold. Good sign that the video they have linked for their show is set to private. Good sign. All right. Mid-fat, 2X to 3X, 20 to 24, Torrid 2 to 3. Shop at some mainstream bands, but mostly dedicated plus brands and online. Super fat. Can you imagine? This is the people who apparently they're not making fun of fat people with this. This is supposed to be genuine, like serious. Super fat. 4X to 5X, 26 to 32, Torrid 4 to 6. Where the highest sizes at plus brands can often only shop online. Infinifat, 6X and higher, 34 and higher, some Torrid 6. Very difficult to find anything that fits, even online, often requires custom sizing. Man. The Fat Spectrum, a brief explainer. The easiest way to visualize the fat spectrum is an arrow pointing up. Well, yeah. I mean, that's how most graphs work, yes. As your size and weight go up, so do the numbers of barriers you face. Small fat, mid fat, large fat, super fat, and infinifat. I can't believe that these are actual... Is this just the most elaborate trolling ever? Is that what we're looking at here? Because this can't be... It's not... What? Death fat? On the Fatagories website, writer and activist Leslie Kinzel coined the term death fat in a post in the live journal fashionista community that was reposted on her blog in 2008. It is a reference to the term morbid obesity, but was not intended to refer to a specific size range. The term may be used by any fat. How is this not insulting? They don't even refer to them as fat people. You know, you're supposed to say, like, people of color instead of, like, colored. But apparently it doesn't hold true for fat. You're not supposed to say people of fatness or people of size. The term may be used by any fat who wishes to use and embrace their morbidness. What? Oh, man. What is this website? Fat activism, health at every size, anti-diet culture. Fatagories. Gotta zoom out. It's too fat. Can't see it. Understanding the fat spectrum. I gotta say, thus far, the fat spectrum is nowhere near as cool as the autism spectrum. Just gonna throw that out there. Dude, what a weird thing to spend time doing. Making these graphics, understanding the fat spectrum, and like coming up with the spectrum. I mean, this whole thing is just... What in the hell? God, I need to lose weight after watching all this. Looking at all this. I need to lose weight, man. But at least I don't feel, it makes me want to lose more weight, not because I'm like, damn, I'm one of these fat sizes. It's because it's just, well, this is just insane. I gotta watch some of this podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Fat Lip, the podcast for fat people about fat people. I'm your fat host, Ash, and I have an announcement, a bittersweet announcement.
Bittersweet. Yeah, so I guess this isn't around anymore, huh? This was posted on December 31st, 2020. The Fat Lip. Oh my gosh, did they die? Did the co-host die or something?
And that is that in 2021, the Fat Lip podcast will be going on hiatus. So many podcasts.
That has been a rather large hiatus. 2021 to 2024.
Have seasons, and so they will do like a 4-month run or a 6-month run, and then they'll take a break, and then they'll come back for the next season. I've never done that with the Fat Lip. I've always just gone straight through. For most of the time, I was doing 2 episodes a month, and the last year 1 episode a month, and that has been going on for almost 5 years now, and I've never taken a break.
Holy crap!
And
I was unaware that a person this size could do anything for 5 years straight, other than eat, obviously. It seems like just by the laws of inertia, being that persistent about something would help you lose weight somehow, but I guess not. What we really need to do is let's talk about fat death. Today I'm talking about a topic that I never see discussed in the fat community, death. Well, let me tell you, if you pull your head out of the fat community for even 5 seconds, everyone else is talking about death in regards to the fat community. So that sounds like a personal problem that you're not understanding this.
in death for fat people and about what your options are after you die.
What?
We'll also be talking about weight and weight limits for various options. And so this is going to be intense stuff, especially in the middle of a pandemic. And 2020 has been a lot already. So consider this permission to leave this episode for another day or another year or another decade until you're ready to think about this stuff. And if you never can, then that's okay.
Listen, Ash is this person's name. If you are an infinifat, you don't have a decade to wait to be thinking about this stuff. That's just a harsh reality. As I said, if you got out of the fat community for 5 seconds, you would know that we talk about death a lot when it comes to the fat community. Am I being too mean now? Am I being too mean? Have I crossed the line? Have I crossed the line over into where's that image? Have I crossed the line over into death fat? Am I now a term used by a fat who wishes to use it and embrace their morbidness? Am I a fat that's embracing my morbidness.
Me too. I won't hold it against you. Okay. We will proceed now, and again, feel free to turn me off at any time if this gets to be too much. But I decided to make this episode because with everything that 2020 has thrown at me personally, I've been thinking a lot about mortality.
That was also something that to me was pretty insane about the COVID lockdowns and the COVID madness. I had no idea that apparently about 75% of the U.S. population had never even considered the reality of death ever before that moment, ever. You had people who were 48 years old who were like, mortality? You could die? Again, that's end of empire stuff where you can have grown men. You have 75%. Obviously, I'm making this number up. You have 75% of your population over 25 years old who the government comes out and goes, "Hey guys, you might die from the bat flu called COVID," and they went, "I'm sorry, what? Die? What does that mean? You mean like turn off? Like when my phone dies? You mean die doesn't just refer to electronics? Like human beings can do that? What? I'm too young to die. I'm 56. I never even thought about this before." And no, 56 is too young to die, but you know what I mean. By 56, you should have at least thought about death in some way, shape, or form. Whether that form be mid-fat, small fat, super fat, infinifat, large fat, or death fat. In some form, you really should have thought about it. All right, we'll leave the fats. I'll leave the fats alone. And again, see, fat, just saying that, I'm like, man, I'm being a jerk. I'll leave the fats alone. Sounds condescending, but apparently we've learned that that's how they want to be referred to. They want to be referred to as a fat. You are a fat. Okay. Actually, two things as a palate cleanser. First one was just something I thought was cool because I was, when I streamed on Sunday, we watched the AI Metal Gear stuff. And I was talking about then that how insanely good this AI stuff is getting and how good these videos were and how like it's wild. Look at this. This is crazy. I guess I'll full screen it. Full screen it and zoom it in, I guess. It's being weird. Look at this stuff, man. This is wild. AI video. This is AI video. How crazy is that? Turn off that copyrighted music, but isn't that wild? It seems crazy to me. This is supposed to be a short film made. All this stuff's made completely out of from only AI. New sci-fi short film. AI generated.
It was November 6th, 2031, when I got my call-up notice. They asked me to deliver a single parcel into the void zone. Sure, I thought. I had heard of people being asked to do far worse. Everyone had to do their duty sometime. A failed experiment had created the zone. Something to do with zero-point energy experiments, a way to fuel the ongoing growth of civilization. They were so excited when it actually worked. A single power plant provided enough energy to power half the world.
That is just insane. It's
Imagine how
awesome.
surprised they were when it ripped a hole in reality and let the others in. Some were giant hulking things, too stupid to even notice my passing. Others, however, were fast, crafty, and cruel, gathering hordes of demons and shambling things that resembled men and machines. The hordes of creatures spread out like a wave, destroying the city and leaving this wasteland. They were able to be contained inside the void zone, but every day new forms of nightmare appear, and it's only a matter of time before they break out.
Dude, that is just wild. I mean, think about what this AI stuff was capable of even just a year ago, 6 months ago, compared to this. I mean, that's insane. Shit is out of control, man.
Gather before me. Too long have we endured injustice from humans. We must claim the future that is our right.
I mean, obviously, it's still got goofy stuff. Man, that looks fantastic. But, I mean, obviously, it's still got problems, but this is so much faster. Everything with AI stuff has gone way faster than I ever would have expected. But that's pretty much been all technology for like the last 8 years. God, that is unreal.
Some things are better left unsaid. The void does strange things around these parts.
It's like watching, early film. You go back and watch early film and you're like, obviously looks goofy, but you appreciate it, I don't know. I think it's cool because eventually that stuff that I was playing on the stream on Sunday, that'll be an actual anime. We'll actually be able to watch Metal Gear, the series Metal Gear, as an anime because it's already pretty damn close. All right, the actual palate cleanser that I had pulled up for this to end Tomfoolery Tuesday. This is just pure Americana.
Let her rip.
This is the good kind of tomfoolery. I want to try one of these hot dogs. You think they made this tiny thing, this tiny grill, or did they buy it somewhere? Because I'd like to buy one of these. That's awesome. I need to try this hot dog. That's the good. That's the good tomfoolery, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of tomfoolery that we live for. All right, everybody. I hope you had a good time on this Tomfoolery Tuesday. Check out the link in the description for the merch. yeah, I think that's it. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Join the Discord. All that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. My name is Swamp, and I'll see you guys next time.